In 2 Chronicles 25, we see a new king established as his father was put to death, actually murdered, because of his wickedness. And verse 2 tells us much about this king. And he did what was right in the sight of Yahweh, yet not with a whole heart. Amaziah, we see a great beginning. As he followed Yahweh, he went out to fight against the Edomites, and the Lord granted him victory. But in verse 7, we see one of the lessons of this chapter. But a man of God came to him, saying, O king, do not let the army of Israel go with you, for Yahweh is not with Israel, nor with any of the sons of Ephraim. After the time of King Solomon, I believe it was his son Rehoboam, the kingdom was divided it became the kingdom of Judah, which followed the line of David, which is the one that God had promised to bless. Then the kingdom of Israel, 10 other tribes separated themselves, and because of that, the kingdom of Israel started becoming very wicked. And every time the kingdom of Judah tries to ally themselves with the kingdom of Israel, though they came from the same heritage, but now they're following different paths. One, the Lord has a covenant with and is keeping faithful even when the people of Judah are not faithful. But the other one, Israel, is going to destruction. So what happens here? God tells him to not ally with Israel, and he listens. And we see why they shouldn't have allied in the first place. The army that he hired for money, a lot of money too, he told them to return home. I assume he let them keep the money that he paid them. But they were angry that they weren't able to go to battle. So what did they do? In verse 13, the army from Israel, they raided the cities of Judah from Samaria to Beth-horon and struck down 3,000 of them and plundered much plunder. The very people that hired these Israelites are people from the kingdom of Israel and told them to go home. Because of their anger, they attacked those who hired them. And it's just a reminder again for us to not align ourselves with the wicked, even when it seems okay or well. Then finally in verse 14 and onward, we see the fall of Amaziah into idolatry and pride. Now it happened that after Amaziah came from striking down the Edomites, he brought the gods of the sons of Seir, set them up as his gods, worshiped them, and burned incense to them. So what did he do? He started committing idolatry, and he also became proud that his army was able to defeat the Edomites. So he turned around and wanted to take on the kingdom of Israel, the very people that he hired. And it's interesting. The king of Israel basically tells a story of the thorn bush, and that's in verse 18. Read that and saying, hey, don't become proud after defeating another nation. You can't win against us. But Amaziah didn't listen, and eventually, because of that, he went to fight, lost, and then lost his kingdom, and eventually lost his life. So what does the Family Worship Bible Guide say on this chapter? I'll read that for us. It is extremely dangerous to remain in a condition of half-hearted religion, verse 2. Though we may do some good things, like Amaziah, we may also waste our resources pursuing the favor of the world, verse 6. Make ourselves vulnerable to the wicked by our alliances with them, verse 13. Be attracted to imitate the world and its corrupt forms of worship, verse 14. Proudly take on projects beyond our means to our defeat and disgrace, verse 19. And alienate those around us, verse 27. It is far wiser to humble ourselves before the Lord, give him our total devotion, and submit to all that his word counsels us to do. What are the benefits of wholehearted religion? God doesn't ask us to give him half our heart, or even most of our heart. He says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. So let us strive and encourage one another to do so.